Hi there, it's Carrie from Stamp with CT. Welcome to our Facebook Live and welcome to October. Wow. I am excited that it's fall. I'm excited that the weather is cooperating and decided to be fall. And I am very excited to have you here with me today. So if you're watching the replay, I hope you will type in replay. I appreciate the replay crew. And if you're able to watch live, once Facebook sends out some notifications, we usually have some people that are able to hop on. Just takes a minute. But if you're watching live, I'm so excited to have you here. And if you noticed, in the description of the video, I said stop by and say boo. So don't say hi today, say boo. We are making a Halloween card. And I thought it turned out really cute. We're getting a little bit artsy today. And I'll show you how I made the cute background of this card. The weather here is absolutely gorgeous in Texas. This is one of my favorite times of year, just having some cool temperatures, not too hot, not too cold, just right. And it's just a beautiful time of year. Now we don't have the season change where you see a lot of the leaves changing and that type thing, but it is still a wonderful time of year here in Texas. We have a sunroom off of our living room that we don't get to use very often because it doesn't have heat or air conditioning, and so we were actually able to use that this past weekend. We had World Card Making Day, which was a fabulous day. I hope that you did a little bit of crafting and stamping on World Card Making Day and was able to celebrate our holiday. All right, let's get started with crafting this morning, and let me show you how I made this cute little card. Now, I'll tell you, right before I went live, I was cleaning my desk off. I drug something across this card, and I made a little oops. So I'm not even sure what I did, but just ignore that. We will recreate this project. I'll show you how I made this super spooky background, and it will not have that little oops on it. It could have another oops. We'll see. We'll see how I do today. So this little card is super quick and easy, but it's a lot of fun too. I'm using the Black and White Designer Series paper from our mini catalog. It's lots of fun with the black and gray on one side and the black and white on the other. And you may be able to tell here, I did color this Designer Series paper just a touch, and I'll show you how and how I did the background. We are using the Scary Cute bundle. And this is an awesome little stamp die bundle. This stamp set is amazing with the silhouettes of the trick-or-treaters. It is just precious. And my favorite is the little fairy. I think she's super cute. In the group, I love them all. And then this die set has lots of fun dies where you can cut out a spooky little cat. You can cut out a haunted house like we're going to use today. Lots of different bats. This actually cuts out a frame with some spooky trees. So just a really fun little die set. This actually would stand alone if you already have a fun Halloween stamp set that you love. These dies would work just by themselves. But when you purchase that bundle of the stamps and the dies, you do save 10%, and those little silhouettes are so cute, and cute little sentiments with that as well. So we have this Halloween card, and I went ahead and did decorate on the inside. We could certainly stamp our envelope too. I don't think I grabbed one, but we could. Now if you're just joining, not sure what I did to make that little oops on my card, but let's get started recreating this, and we will leave that part off. So I'm starting with a basic black card base. It's 8.5 by 5.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. I did that ahead of time. And I will go back in and edit the description of the video so that you'll have these measurements if you want to make a card like this. Now I have a couple pieces that are 5 1/4 by 4 inches. One is basic white to go on the inside, and one is Blackberry Bliss, so that's our outside layer. This is our inside panel. And then I went ahead and cut a couple. Now you really just need one, but I want to make sure I don't have any boo-boos, because we're going to do a little bit of ink blending with a blender brush, and that's not something I do a lot, but I wanted to share with you how easy it is. So this is actually 5 by 3 3/4, and then our piece of designer series paper is 5 by 1 1/2. So not a lot of supplies, but we're going to have some fun doing some ink blending and doing some stamping. We've got lots of stamping to do today. I think we'll start with that. And now remember this larger panel, the 5 1/4 by 4, that is our inside panel. And let me find my stamps over here. We're going to start first with our sentiment that says "Trick or treat, you're so sweet." And I just inked that up good, and I put it down in the corner. And on my first card, on my sample, I pressed a little bit too hard, and I had a bit of a halo. So what I did was put just a tiny strip of designer series paper, just a 1/4 inch underneath there to help cover up that stamping sin. And then I need our cute little trick-or-treater, our little fairy trick-or-treater. Now these stamps being silhouettes, you do have to make sure you have a good juicy ink pad and that you are inking your stamps up really well. We're going to put her right down here. Oh, she came out perfect. Really cute. Now, I'm going to close that up and go ahead and set that aside for just a minute so we can do some ink blending. We'll come back to some more stamping. I'm going to bring in my Stamparatus grid paper just to help protect my work surface. And we've got this piece that's 5 by 3 3/4, and we're going to do our ink blending. Now, this is going to go right over the top here. And so I'm going to make this the bottom, this the top. Let's go ahead and I'll bring in the blending brushes. Now these come in a set of 3. And I've somehow lost one. If you could only see my room. Using Blackberry Bliss Ink. And they're awesome. You just can swipe this brush. It's super soft and it picks up the ink. And the more you use it, the more ink that it kind of holds. When you first start out, it takes a little bit, kind of like a sponge dauber. It takes a little bit to get it in your blending brush. So I'm just going to add color all over this piece of white cardstock. And you can see I'm kind of brushing that across my ink pad, swiping it across, getting a little bit of that ink off before I come over to my cardstock, using a circular motion as I add the ink. So this is the bottom, and this is where I'll be stamping my trick-or-treater, so I want to keep it a little lighter. I will have that strip of designer series paper at the top, but I still want some spookiness to come down a bit. And it's really up to you how much color you want to add. Now, you may get a little bit messy in this process, but that's okay, right? Inky fingers means you've been having fun. Now, when you're done, you can actually swipe that across your chamois to get it cleaned up a little bit. You can also just run it under the water. If you're using it just for purples, you could leave it alone. But if you want to clean it out, you take it to the sink. It really does come pretty clean. There may be a little bit of staining with this dark Blackberry Bliss, but it works just fine. I think I may want to add a little bit more. I closed that, but let's add a little bit more. I'm looking at my sample, and I think I got it a bit darker, so we're going to come back in and add a little more. Now that DSP will cover that very top part, but I just want it to look spooky. I like it. Now, we also want to color this piece of Designer Series paper, but I want it to be fairly light, so I'm just going to use the ink that's still in the brush. And again, just doing a circular motion to add that little bit of color to that black and white cardstock. So don't forget that you can do that with your black and white. And as you come in, just remember, I can't see comments while I'm actually creating the project, but just know that I'll go back and look at comments and tell you hello. I appreciate you being here. So we're actually going to cover that up. Looks good. I like it. So now we can do a bit more stamping. On the outside here, I went ahead and stamped our trick-or-treaters. So I did have a second piece of cardstock cut just in case. I had a little oops, but we did good, y'all. So again, nice bold image. I want to make sure that my stamp is inked up well. This is a nice red rubber stamp set. I'm going to bring those guys down here to the right. I've got just a tiny bit of a halo. Pressed a little bit too hard, y'all. So let's go ahead and grab our other piece of paper. Sorry about that. We'll just do a little bit more ink blending. And I'll do that again. I was afraid I might do that. I want to get a good firm pressure because I want that image to really pop, but put a little bit too much pressure. And I've been stamping a long time, but you know, we still do stuff like that. The other day I adhered a card together, and when Dale came home, I showed him and it opened backwards. So raise your hand if you've ever done that before. Now there's a lot more ink in that brush, so I'm getting a little bit darker, and I may be pressing a little bit harder too. Now you could certainly use just cardstock and stamp your image, but I love the way this looks. It really does add that spookiness, doesn't it? Okay, little trick-or-treaters, let's try this again. Let me see if I can do a better job this time. Make sure I go straight down. Oh yeah, looks a lot better, doesn't it? Then I'm going to go ahead and get my positioning for my spooky haunted house, because I have some bats that I want to stamp. Around my house. And I did go ahead and cut out a moon. Doesn't really show a lot on my other card because of where I put my ribbon, but there is a moon. I may bring it over to the other side. Now let's stamp our bats right there. Or maybe even a second set. I may bring the moon to the other side this time. We'll mix it up a little bit, right? Okay, let me bind my cover to my ink pad. And now we're going to start assembling. I'm going to move my little house back over the way. I don't want to lose it. Over out of the way. We'll start our assembly process. Let's first put the inside panel, and I have some liquid glue here. Remember, we're just going to put a little dot in the four corners. And I like to put a squiggle down the middle, even though you don't have to. Super strong adhesive. And we just tend to overuse it, so we are learning to scale it back. Get my equal border. Isn't that precious? I love that little fairy trick-or-treater, so cute. And now we can put this on right here. Just a little bit of color on our designer series paper that really makes that pop. I think I went the other way. Oops. I don't think it really matters. Got a little bit close with my bats, but that's okay. Now, I have got the metallic mesh ribbon that's been in our catalog for a little while, and that's what we're using as our embellishment today. And it just adds a little bit, almost like a spider web effect, I think, and a little bit more spookiness. Now, you don't have to wrap it all the way around, but I'm just doing that more to conserve time than anything. And I'm going to tie a knot. I say I am. There we go. Got my fingers to work. And I'm just going to trim this off here. I'm working from the bolt, so I'm really conserving my ribbon. I do have this little piece left, and I want to hold on to this because we're going to use it. Actually, let me put it over here on the card base so I don't lose it. I'm just going to kind of scrunch my ribbon up, bring it right to the break of the designer series paper and where our ink blending starts. Just thought that added a cool little touch. And now we can add this to our Blackberry Bliss panel. And again, a little glue in the corners, not too close to the edge, so when it squishes, it doesn't come out the sides. We don't get it on our fingers. Again, get that centered up as best we can. I think that it even, man, I still got a little bit too much glue. I think that that really helps make that background pop to layer that onto a piece of Blackberry Bliss. Now, while that dries for a second, I'm going to take this little scrap of ribbon and I'm going to bring my haunted house back in. So if you participated in stamp class in September, you know the little trick that I'm about to do. I am going to take a couple of glue dots and I'm going to just scrunch them up with my finger. I normally don't tell you to touch glue dots with your finger because they get really sticky, but I'm just going to put a couple on the back of my haunted house. Okay, let's find the end there. There it is. I found this to be the easiest way to do this. Then I've got this just little scrap of ribbon and I'm just pulling the fibers apart a little bit. I'm going to put that over my haunted house, stretch it around. Those glue dots will pick up on that. And if you need to trim some off, you can. But it just gives it that kind of cobweb effect on the haunted house. And I will bring that closer so you can see. I think it's super cute. Just really adds a cute touch. I could probably trim a little bit of that off. I'm just going to go with it. Add some glue, top and bottom. And we'll pop on our haunted house. with the little bats flying around. That's fun. So doesn't that make it look spooky? So cute. Okay, we're ready to add this to our card front and finish up this project, y'all. So you'll have to let me know what you think about using the blending brushes if you have them, if you've tried that. This really adds a fun look to the project. And I realized my one little image, my one little guy did not completely stamp, but I think I can come in maybe with a Sharpie and kind of touch that up, or I may just leave it alone. May just leave it alone, y'all. So this one's a little bit lighter, so you can see that variation of color. I still have my moon, and I could probably add it over here. Just put a tiny touch of blue on that. And we'll bring it right up there. Okay, so there you have the two projects. My sample that I kind of messed up a little bit, in a little bit different variation here with, I need to trim that. Little different variation that we recreated. Have a little bit too much cobweb. Okay, y'all let me know what you think. I think it turned out really cute, and I love the way that using the blending brush helps to add that color. Okay, like I said, we had a great time at World Card Making Day, or I think I said that. I always enjoy hosting those type of events. We just really had the best day. It flew by. I don't know how that time went by so fast, but we had a really good time and a really nice turnout. So I'm glad that those that got to come to World Card Making Day here at the house were able to come. And then I know several of you participated in the virtual craft along that Stampin' Up! Sponsored. So I hope you had a good day no matter what you did on World Card Making Day. Such a great time to celebrate our hobby. You move these out of the way just a little bit. Uh-oh, there comes the siren. And I thought I would show you some happy mail that I received from my bestie. Thank you, LaDonna. This is a really, really pretty fall card. I love fall. It even has a little leaf on the inside, so absolutely beautiful. Love getting happy mail. Thank you so much, LaDonna. I appreciate that. And then we need to do our giveaway right quick. The winner from last week is Jeannie Holmes, and so she will be receiving the Adhesive Back Seasonal Sequins. This is a really fun sequin pack. Very shiny sequins. You're going to love them, Jeannie. Now, you are a new friend to me, so I hope that you will message me your address so we can pop those in the mail to you. And if you had a prize coming from Facebook Live, Bingo, Team Meeting, Dale worked super hard and got all of those prizes in the mail on Saturday. Practically needed like a wagon to drag everything up to the post office. But he got all of that out, and I know some people have already received those, so if you have won a prize recently, we are finally caught up. And then today I have a package of the iridescent pearls. Now, it doesn't have anything to do with the Halloween project that we made, but these we used Saturday. They're really, really pretty. Actually, everyone that attended got a package of these in their goodie bags, so they're really pretty. If you want a chance to win those pearls, just leave me a comment. Say boo. Tell me what you think about the card, whatever you would like. But if you leave a comment, if you send up a heart, if you share the video, be sure to say shared if you do share the video, because Facebook doesn't always show me who shared. So if you would do that, all those things enter you for a chance to win the prize. And I love being able to do a little door prize each week just to thank you for your support and the way that you have helped my business grow. I appreciate you all so much. We do have stamp class coming up. It is the Gingham Cottage stamp class coming up on the 15th. This Friday is the deadline to register for that. I do that over in CT's Craft and Connect, my community Facebook group, and if you want to be part of that class, it's $20 or free with a minimum order. Or if you just want to come and watch the video and pull out your own supplies and create, you can do that as well. I also offer the class in my home. And if you want to come to the in-person class, just need to tell me if you want 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock. What else? We have Paper Pumpkin Club this month. I'm doing Cardstock Club. We are doing the Regals, I believe, this month. Yes, we did Brights, then In Colors, and this month is Regals. So even if you did not know anything about Cardstock Club starting in August, I can catch you up if you want to be part of all 5 months. It's basically a way to get 6 sheets of every color of cardstock that Stampin' Up! Offers. And then if you participate all 5 months, you get a bonus from me, 10 sheets of black, basic white, and very vanilla cardstock as an appreciation gift. So it's an awesome way to get all of the colors of cardstock and save a little bit of money in the process. Because us, by Dale and I separating it all out, it is a much better deal than if you buy the assortment package that's in the catalog. And we love doing that. We love making a little resource tool that you can use with it. So let me know if that's something you're interested in. Trying to think if there's anything else. Over in CT's Craft and Connect yesterday, I did announce our 3rd annual ornament exchange. We have had the best time with this over the past couple of years. So if you would like to be included, just go over to that page and click going or type in going and let me know that you want to participate. The ornaments are handmade. They do not have to be made of paper. We've had ornaments that were made from fabric, wood, metal. We've had really, really creative designs. And then some that are just a little bit more simple, but it's so much fun to receive those and then decorate your tree with handmade ornaments. That's what Dale and I have done the past couple of years. So if you want to be involved in that, we would love to have you join us. Okay, y'all. Happy October. Thanks for stopping by, and we will see you again next Wednesday at 10 a.m. for more time to craft and connect. Thank you.